Hello, Pootloops! Oh my god, what a name!
Hello, Loopy! Oh my gosh, what a name! Here he is! It is time! Another year! You're lost. Why are you lost? It's okay, on it. Genshin's down for maintenance? Oh no! That's okay, I'm here to entertain you. You get to now be a part of the summer games. Hopefully we can get a run in today. And my addiction! We can get a decent run to submit to SGDQ. Unfortunately, the deadline, it goes into the Dragon's Dogma deadline. So we're gonna definitely be playing Dragon's Dogma 2 as much as I really want to. So we're gonna get our submission ready, hopefully today. If not, hopefully Thursday, Friday. And if we're really feeling it, we will do a Surgeon Simulator run as well. But obviously, I Am Fish is my favorite game. Yes, 22nd. 10 days away. 10 remain. 10 days away. Next Friday. You got it. I have vacation set up for that day, actually. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to or not. I'm going to try to. If I can't, I can't. But I have had it. Yes, I've had vacations scheduled for that since last year. Or since the announcement, I immediately went to my calendar and scheduled vacation day for its release. And the Monday after, but I also have a dentist appointment on that Monday, so I plan on doing a 24-hour stream. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But obviously my work situation's been interesting, so if I have to work, I will work. But really, I've been waiting for Dragon's Dogma 2 for a very, very, very long time. What time I'm starting? I don't know. Whenever it releases. Submissions already? Yeah, we knew they were coming. They're actually late. I would say submissions are late this year. I think. It is time. I wish you luck, sir. It is I Am Fish time for me, of course. That is the most important game for me. Oh, sick. Awesome. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the gameplay. I'll be enjoying Dragon's Dogma for sure. Now, the question is, can we play it fast enough to enter Dragon's Dogma as well? I imagine they're doing a double submission period like they've done before. Or maybe they only do that for Awesome Games Done Quick. I don't know. But I don't think I would enter Dragon's Dogma because usually those speedruns turn into New Game Plus speedruns. And also, I kind of just want to enjoy the game and not speedrun it because those are two different things. Anyways, we are recording. Exactly. Enjoy the game at our own pace. I'm not going to rush myself on my favorite game. If someone submits for it, I'll root for them, though. Okay. Let's get the settings corrected. Fish sound is on. We need some music, though, of course. Beautiful. Welcome, everybody. My name is Pootloops, and this is my favorite game to speedrun. It's called I Am Fish. The game starts when we start the first level, so we skip some cutscenes at the beginning. It's mostly just tutorial and stuff that's not really timed. Basically, this game, we get to play as 4 different fish. The goldfish, the piranha, the pufferfish, and the flying fish. You learn that immediately. It's not spoilers. We just have to skip the cutscene for it. And each of these fish comes with their own levels and their own mechanics, which allows for different glitches and all sorts of fun stuff. With that being said, and I got a false start there. We're gonna restart that. It's okay. We expect these things. You know what? I'll explain it in the first level instead. I think I know what to submit. Just depends on what I want to learn something beforehand. I think 3 submissions is like the sweet spot, because I think if you go more than that, you spread yourself too thin. Thanks, Stream Elements. Yep, just so you all know, I am streaming I Am Fish. Yeah, new releases are always very good. If you're the only one who submits it, then there's a much higher chance, I feel like. Also good to check the games you're planning to submit and make sure they haven't been played in the past few years, or it's kind of... I don't know, because when I got in with I Am Bread was, like, not that stale. Like, it had been run fairly, like, recently, before my run. I think it was, like, ran in 2020 or something. Yeah, I know, I made the joke. Okay. Welcome to my I Am Fish run. This is my favorite game to speedrun, I Am Poot Loops. We're gonna just get right into the game, and I'll explain the premise as we get along. The run starts when I press A to continue on the first level. So 3, 2, 1, go fish. That was lame. Okay. So we're gonna immediately skip the cutscene, but in that first cutscene, we would see all of the fish members. There is a goldfish, a piranha fish, a pufferfish, and a flying fish. And the goal is to return all of them to the ocean so they can be friends once again. Say hello to Scotty. There's Scotty. He'll become relevant in a couple levels. The first 3 levels we have to play as the goldfish, which is unfortunately not too remarkable, doesn't have any cool mechanics or things about it, but the levels are different, and with different levels comes different strats, which is great. It is important to note that I am not controlling the ball, I am controlling the fish inside the ball. That'll be more apparent on other levels. Nice little intro here. I am going to try to roll off of these wires a little bit early. And we're going to press Y to respawn as soon as we hit the checkpoint. Kind of helps us reset our momentum. We'll use that throughout the run.
I haven't gone to petrol in days. What if another one blows up?
I have this lady who's thirsty for petrol. If you listen to that line right there, they're talking about a petrol station that is exploded, and that is a reference to I Am Bread. One of the last few levels, you actually explode a petrol station. So this is kind of a prequel / sequel to I Am Bread. Also has some Surgeon Simulator references in it as well. Again, we're going to respawn to reset our momentum. We have a little pallet section. This level's pretty nice and chill, just nice movement around with this spherical bowl, I suppose. The sphere. There is a section at the end. One thing that Bossa is known to do is always have some element of car NG in almost every single one of their games for the speedrun. And in this game, the worst of it is on the first level. So we tap the bush there. If you stay on it too long, you lose a lot of time, but we rolled off of it a little bit early. If you roll off too early, you can break your bowl. And if your bowl breaks, the fish will not be able to breathe, and we don't like that. That bread that we just collected is the collectible. Yes, that is the bread from I Am Bread. Basically, these fish ate the bread, and they became super smart, like the bread. So here we go with the car NG. I don't know if this car on the right is going to hit us. If it does, which it did, we have to respawn. And unfortunately, this would normally be where we just immediately restart because, you know, car NG. I could hit again. We can watch for it. Sometimes you can get hit into the water, which is actually the fastest way. We'll try to watch out for it this time. There's a bus. The buses are the worst. Unfortunately, another car. Come on. Nice. All right, we made it across this time. 3's not so bad. Sometimes we get it on the first try. Ideally, we get hit by a car into the water. That's actually the fastest way to end the level. And that is the first level. Unfortunately, we get recaptured by some children, and they put us in their attic and forget about us. So, back to square one. All right, a little bit of lag there. So, this is Goldfish 2. We unfortunately have to show off one of the downsides of the I Am Fish speedrun, and that is the fact that some of our optimal paths involve foregoing checkpoints for the rest of the level. So what we're going to do here is we are going to do what's called the box skip. There's a ladder skip too, but it's way harder to do, and it doesn't save that much time. And to save 10 seconds on this level, we're forgoing checkpoints for the rest of the level. Luckily, in this level, it is fairly safe. Perhaps in marathon setting, we forgo those 10 seconds and go for absolute safety, but I'm pretty confident right now. I'm feeling pretty good. We're just going to go for it. And we're finally get to show off the fact that we are controlling the fish, and this was not all an illusion. There we go. We get to break free for a little bit. And some lag. And this would be a great time for donations. We have some of these pipe sections. This one's incredibly long. What's up, chat? Outlast Trials, Fortnite stuff. Lego Fortnite would be interesting, run. Alright. Welcome to the sewers! Well, where all the trash be, but we do not want to be in the trash. The trash will slow us down, first and foremost, which is very bad for speedrunners. Secondly, if we do not bump it off, which you can bump it off by hitting a wall or another piece of trash, we will, unfortunately, not survive. But we made that through it beautifully. There we go. Hi, Loopy. Another donation. And these first few levels are very chill. It gets incredibly hype in the flying fish section, and the piranha section has some amazing levels as well. Pufferfish is always a favorite. The goldfish is fun, but it's just getting you into the beginning of the game. Speaking of the beginning of the game, this is our friend Greg, and we're going to be seeing a lot of Greg. This is the first time we run into it, because we need to borrow his bucket.
Come back!
And the unfortunate thing about Greg is he really likes this bucket, but we need it. It is about survival here in the world of I Am Fish. Not Greg's feelings. If we hit any of these rocks, it slows us down significantly. Luckily, Greg does not move too fast. Hopefully we can show off his movement as we get a little bit to a safer situation. This has been going pretty decent so far. There we go.
What are you?
Gonna turn around and say hello. There he is. Now, Greg used to be way faster in the demo, and these rocks used to immediately knock you over. Thank goodness that is no longer a thing. And we're safe. Awesome. On to Goldfish 3. We don't have a bucket emote, that's right. And the beginning of Goldfish 3 is pretty slow, but we do have a line to hear from our dear friend Greg over on the left.
My poor bucket.
Yeah. But this would be another good time for some donations. We do have a special character, a special appearance coming over from one of the most popular characters in this game. Do another checkpoint reset as we come over to the gutters. This character did not eat the bread like the other fish did, and for that reason, the fish is very difficult to work with, and this fish's name is Scotty. There we go, drop the Scotty emotes. This is Scotty, and yes, Scotty is going to be joining us for a little bit. Unfortunately, Scotty has control over this bowl to a degree, which affects the speed run, and it also affects a skip we're going to be attempting called the Scotty Rock Skip. If Scotty doesn't like us a lot, this section can be miserable, but the Scotty Rock Skip can be very, very, very difficult. We like to say if you get the Scotty Rock Skip first try, the run is blessed. Otherwise, the run is cursed, and very often I believed that to the point where I would just restart the run if I didn't get the Scotty Rock Skip first try. We won't be doing that today. We'll give it a few tries, and hopefully we get it within, let's say, 4. Oh, and we can blame that on Scotty, but I'm sure part of that was my fault too. It's all good. There are no perfect runs. This is a very difficult speed run to perform. So what we're going to try to do is gear the ball or the bowl up in a very specific way and kind of bump herself over this rock, which we did. And now we have to hope that Scotty... Yes, thank you, Scotty. So I'm going to count this as blessed since the Scotty rock skip happened on the first try. And we got good RNG here as well. This is the second instance of RNG. There is one other instance which will come up in Piranha, but we don't have to worry about it for a minute. The good news is, even though this seems like a high-risk run, there is a skip checkpoint feature, which is perfect for marathon safety. If for some reason we were to do like Goldfish 2, which we just did, and we had to restart from the very beginning, we could skip checkpoints to the end and continue the run. Here's another instance of RNG that I forgot about. And we have no control over what happens here, just so you know. No, that's all scripted. You'll never, if it wasn't obvious, you'll never, get hit there. It's safe. On to our next vehicle. So we've had the bowl or the sphere, we've had the bucket, and now we have what everyone's probably least favorite container is, or vehicle is, casually, the jar. As a speedrunner, we love this. I don't see any Heelys. Some of these NPCs sometimes will slide around like they have Heelys on, and it's really fun, but we don't have any of those today. It's a fun sight if you get to see it. They're also harder to predict a little bit. Oh, that's not very nice. Oh well. So, this part can get you or lose you a lot of time, so I'm going to focus, and it'd be another time where I'd say go ahead and do some more donations, so I focus. This is fine. Good news is we don't have to respawn. Usually we have to respawn there because we go a little too fast, but we didn't this time. Alright, this little slide here you could sometimes get stuck on. Luckily today we did not. Coming up, we have this very straight path that seems like, oh, that seems very easy to go down, but if you're playing it for the first time, it feels like an impossible task to some degree. Oh my goodness. Let's see what happens here, because we're going to have to respawn for sure, but sometimes we can get lucky. Not today. Okay, unfortunate mishap there. Usually we get stopped by the box. The way I came off that slide was not ideal. It was so smooth that I went backwards. Usually we get stopped by either the box or the crate. So we'll do this again. More donations. There is a skip that was found here, but as far as we are aware, so yeah, there's the box stopping me. It's only ever been done when we've used the skip checkpoint feature. There's a lot of weird physics glitches in this game, and I am convinced that using the skip checkpoint feature, which invalidates an official run, actually alters the physics. Another thing that alters the physics of the game is if you use VSync and a monitor that can go over 144 hertz. If you use the VSync, it's the only way to surpass the 120 FPS cap, and it actually completely breaks a level later in the game where you get to skip an entire section and you couldn't otherwise. Since there's a hardware requirement, that is banned. So VSync is banned in this run. And or you have to show your FPS counter, either way. Okay, we're gonna go for an early skip here. Usually you have to go through some sort of cutscene where construction breaks down, but instead we're gonna flop over here. Awesome. On to Flying Fish 1. So after you unlock, you beat the goldfish levels, you can play any of the fish in whatever order you want. Why do we do Flying Fish 1 first? It's got the hardest levels. Or maybe not the hardest levels, but the most unforgiving levels and the most unforgiving skips. It used to just be the third Flying Fish level, but now it's kind of... The second one's also really bad, and also the first one can be bad if you choose to do it. And that's a fun part about the run, is you have different levels of strats with different levels of risk. And for this marathon run, we're going to be going mostly non-risk. This level in particular will be going non-risk. We might go for some non-marathon strats in the second level if I'm feeling it. And in the third, we're going to go as safety as we can, but unfortunately, there is an auto-scroller skip that saves so much time that we absolutely have to go for it. The downside of it is we can fail it up to a point, but if we get to a certain point in it and then we fail, it soft locks the level. The second level can soft lock too. Again, we have safety strats where we can go and skip to checkpoint. So this is the Flying Fish. I should have asked what power do you think it has, and frankly, we're past that now. This is incredibly difficult to control. I am going to try to make it look as easy as possible. Just know that it is not easy at all, and you'll have to take my word for it. Also, the movement there, I am trying to fly as I land into the water. If I don't, I will drop further down to the water, bump the ground, and lose a lot of momentum. So, like I was saying, even in this level, we can do checkpoint skips. However, it's really not that much of a time save. Fortunately, I landed here. I don't have to land here, but I did. It's not as much of a time save as it is in the second and third levels, so it's really not worth going for compared to the amount of time you lose if you fail it. So we're heading to Yellington Market, which is a very frustrating place to be when you are playing the Flying Fish, because this beginning area is not too bad. You have a lot of water to land in, the jumps aren't too bad, but Yellington Market is a little bit different. The jumps get a little bit more difficult. This jump in the demo was nigh impossible. It was very difficult. And again, we're just trying to move as smoothly as possible while grabbing all the checkpoints. There is a category that requires you to grab. The checkpoints are mandatory, and it is very different pathing because we get to play parts of the game that we normally would just skip altogether, and it kind of brings back some old strats that we used to use. We're going to respawn here, and we're going to try to glide over what's called shallow water. So normally this Flying Fish will lose its breath if it flies for a really long time. It can't fly forever. So what we're going to try to do is hit the water that's right over those ice fish and kind of reset our breath, which we did successfully, and then fly all the way to the end of the level. There is one lady who can hit you, and also that water bottle that guy is holding can hit you as well. But second try, not too bad, and we're on to Flying Fish 2. Okay. On to Flying Fish 2. It starts out nice and easy, lots of water to land in, super fun. Speed running. This level is now kind of becoming one of the one of the major reset points, along with the level after this. And it is because it is optimal to skip a ton of checkpoints. I am going to go for Coddy's Tower just for fun, to show the first part of it where we actually raise a water level early. But I'm not going to try to go for the entire skip at this time. Actually, you know what? Let's just do the out of bounds, because that's a really fun, and that's usually what we do in the marathons. We're going to do that instead. I changed my mind. And this is the marathon safe, the most marathon safe and the most marathon fastest way to do it. So we're gonna do this. So normally we have to get ourselves up in that thing over there, but we're gonna say, hey, let's show an out of bounds instead. We can't get stuck here, so hopefully we don't. We were kind of stuck, but not that stuck, so that's good. And we're out of bounds, just like that. Now, if I do hit this checkpoint and I land back inbounds, then the level does soft lock, so I do need to hit this checkpoint and not come back inbounds. Oh. Unlucky. There we go. And I want to make sure I hit the next checkpoint, because if we die before we hit this next checkpoint, we will still soft lock. I don't know why that checkpoint raises the water level. It's very convenient that it does so. If you are running the main category for this game, this is probably the path that you should do early on while learning the game. I'm hoping I'm not stuck here. Okay. Because I could have been. That would have been very, very sad. Little fish movement. Ah! Got stuck. Yeah, so the other path, we would have skipped that section entirely, and we would have actually started from the back of these buttons. And that would have been the last button we hit. What's the fish that makes this sound? Shh. Good question. I don't know. What fish makes that sound? Is it just a fish? All fish? The fried fish. That's good, Zitron. Keep them coming. We're doing an SGDQ run, so all your puns are very much welcome. Your fish puns. Couple Sturgeon Simulator jokes, so on and so forth. You'll also see, as we run out of breath, the screen will get darker and darker and darker. Eventually we'll lose our power and we'll just fall. So normally we would have to, if we're doing the main path, we would have to open this one, but it's already open, so we can just follow the cart. It's actually even faster if we catch the cart on its way in, but it's so easy to miss, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to catch it now. There is a mosquito in the room, and that's not very fun, and it already bit my ankle. I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Zitron? Oh gosh. Okay. There we go. Alright, we can respawn. We have to do a box skip here. Usually I'm doing this from a different angle. I think we're good. Oh, no. There we go, beautiful. Box skip. Now, if we had skipped checkpoints and I had failed that, it's possible I'd have to restart from the very beginning, and that's no fun. We could do these ice boxes in 2 jumps. This ice box section is an absolute pain. But we're going to try to do it in 3 instead, because I want to grab that checkpoint as well. Okay. So, if we do checkpoint skip in this, unfortunately, that means we normally couldn't do the bucket skip I'm about to do. We already did one bucket skip, we're about to try to do another. In order to do this bucket skip, we only get 1 shot, which involves a very difficult jump, which we made, and then an even harder jump. And if we did checkpoint skip, that means we have to do these jumps back to back to back, or back to back, and if we fail, it's over. The run's over. We get it here, so maybe we could have done it. Maybe we could have done the harder strategy, but you know what? Safety. On to the worst level! By worst level, I mean it's a very fun level, but oh my gosh, is it awful for speedruns. So we get to return to the bucket, and what would be a flying fish level without an airport level? You don't know that it's an airport yet, but it's an airport. I do get to show off a somewhat newer skip. Usually we have to go through this whole desk section, and it's a total mess. But we have a person in our community who has found a couple really useful time saves, and this is one of them. And it saves us time in the fact that, like, going through that desk optimally is not easy, and even going through that desk optimally is still slower than just doing this. Boop. And we don't break, which is wonderful. So we get to skip all of that nonsense and just carry on. And I don't know why there's an airport with an elevator from a secret lab, and no one's questioning it. So, question for the devs, perhaps. Shout out to Bossa. Not a great transition on those lines there. Hey, I love playing the fishes, Zitrion. You know I love this game. So we're going to do a checkpoint respawn right here. And normally, this next checkpoint coming up would be the last checkpoint we would have for the run. We are going to grab a couple extra ones for safety. But normally, after this checkpoint, if you have to respawn for whatever reason, that's a reset. And this is pretty far into the run. We're 26 minutes into the run right now. That is not fun. It's not the worst in, like, speedrun history, I'm sure, but it is pretty bad. Especially with how few, how long the total run is and how few times you actually get past this level in a full run. So we're grabbing this checkpoint for safety. Then we're going to go back and grab the checkpoint in the fountain we were just in. It's still faster than landing in that fountain first. Then you, guess what? You can make this jump. If you've played this game casually, you'd think this is impossible, but no, you can make this jump. Hopefully I make this jump and don't make myself look like a fool right now. Okay, we make it. It is a little close, but we made it. Then we go from there to a bucket. Keep in mind, all of this we would be doing without checkpoints at this point. And we have a bucket section. This bucket section is pretty tough. Worst of all, there's an escalator at the end. And for our purposes, this escalator is more often than not in a yield, and we go down and we restart. There's also sometimes a graphical glitch on this level, which just makes a void in the graphics, and it becomes nearly unplayable. And hopefully it won't happen to us, but if it does, that'll be a treat of sorts. So yeah, this escalator, depending on how you land on it, it can sometimes be mean and bump you off. And again, that's a restart of the run. Zitrion, you're going to have to wait till the end of the run for me to gift my dogs treats. Maybe if I can find a cutscene, I can try to do it. I'm trying to think of something. Here's our friend Greg.
Just need a holiday.
Greg has had a rough week. Lost his passport. Lost his bucket.
Week.
Sad. Poor Greg. Absolutely. I'm sure we can find a moment to sneak Chunk and Coco a treat. So this next section has a bunch of different ways of going through it. We are going to grab the checkpoint. I am going to go for a jump, though, just because it's a little bit faster, and I prefer doing that than rolling this cart all the way down there. So we're going to grab this checkpoint here. You know, I was going to show a feature, but I decided against it because I don't want to miss this suitcase. Good spawns for the suitcases. You can go directly to the suitcases, and normally we would if we didn't have checkpoints. Or you could skip the suitcases altogether. So now we have no checkpoints for the rest of the levels, and a bunch of difficult jumps to do, including one jump at the end, where your run basically dies if you miss it. Again, we have we have safety basically to ensure that that's not a problem. Should be a suitcase. I'm gonna go right for it. All right, and this should go to the second because that one's going to the third. And the second is the best conveyor belt to go to. So this is a good start. And this would be, I'd probably say donations time, but I have very scary jumps to do. But, you know, this could be a fine time for donations, saying hi to chat while I'm waiting for a good suitcase to jump to, which I now have one. It is locked in my sights. I could go for that one, but I'm going to go for this one instead because I like the second jump from it. And I missed it, so I have to do this again. Not my best jump. But this is the reality of this run. High stressful area. As long as we make the last jump, we're very happy, though. First trying this would be absolutely amazing. There's been so many variations of this auto-scroller skip. By the way, failing this like 8 times, it's still faster just to keep going for this because the auto-scroller is actually that long. All right, we're gonna go for this suitcase. And again, I fail. We go again. A reminder that these are very difficult to jump in and out of. And you can see why this is such a pain when you don't have checkpoints at all. The fact that you just have to full-on restart it. All right, well, we can... I could grab that one, or I can go for this one, because this one's going to go second conveyor belt. Okay, good. Beautiful. Focus up. Sip to Dr. Pepper. Come on. If this run gets into SGDQ, every time I fail this, I'll donate $50. I said it there. This particular section. So I can't go into that one. It's not a good jump. This one's good, though. Okay. $50 is a lot, though. I could fail this easily 5 times. But it's charity. It's good. Alrighty. I think we're good here on this jump. So normally we thought you had to go in the suitcase, but actually you can just kind of fly into here and you're good to go. This is the level where you can actually skip this entire section if you increase the... if you put on VSync and have a very nice monitor. This is the jump where if I fail it, I have to restart the level because the level will soft block and skip checkpoints to the end, but I think we're going to be good. Beautiful. Woohoo! It is still a valid run. The run is still valid. And just like that, we are through Flying Fish. Well, we have one last little jump to make. If I jump out of this too early, you do just splat on the tarmac. So we have to wait. Captain will be upset. I don't know why there's... I mean, all the luggage is missing, right? Kind of interesting. Alrighty, here we go. Good to go. Woo! Flying Fish is complete. So the goldfish does have one power the other fish don't have, and you only see it in the cutscenes. It's shiny, so it basically the beacon for the other fish. All right, this is the piranha. It would do as you'd expect, and it bites. It is basically heavy on puzzles. Anything that's colored red we can bite and interact with. Pretty much everything that's red. The game wants us to interact with and bite. And you might be thinking, okay, you had some pretty cool, you know, out of bounds and skips. We had that shallow water with the flying fish. What can we do with the piranha? Well, this level is, as it stands, we do skip a whole section, but this level is pretty much pure jar skill once we get out of here. We can get a little boost out of the water if we bite while we go out of the water, and we use that sometimes. But the cool trick with Piranha, and stay tuned for it because it'll blow your mind, is on Piranha 2. Here we go. Is there another car and G section, but it's somewhat cyclical. It's just where the car is in the road. It comes on a timer, though. We're going to have the same cars coming down at a consistent cycle. It's just how close are they to this wall. Once we get across, it's fairly safe as long as I'm paying attention. I can risk a little bit of time. Buses are difficult because you can't go under them. The cars, if you need to, you can go under them. And this car is luckily very far away from this wall, so we can get a decent turn in here. And we're basically just going as fast as possible in this section in the jar. This is a very, very difficult section. I've played it a lot, and I might still mess it up. Even in a regular any percent run, getting through this section without like having a mistake that like makes you break your jar is that's great. That's all the time save you need. Get to pick up another piece of bread. And we're through the worst of it. This level does introduce another animal. It is the seagulls. I'm going to respawn there because I didn't like the way I was going. Ideally, we don't have to respawn there. But it's not totally bad because we don't want to go across this fast anyways. I know it's a speed run. We're supposed to go across it fast. Okay, so the seagulls meter has been fulfilled, and now we're going to have seagulls flying at us. If I stop moving the fish, they will stop coming at me. But we're just going to hope for now it doesn't hit us. And we make it to this checkpoint. Awesome. I'm going to respawn because I didn't like that. I think it's better to just do this. Yeah. Awesome. Obviously, there's some areas we really don't want the seagulls to hit us. I'm going to stop moving myself. Now, the jar can be moving. Just the fish has to stop moving. You have to stop doing inputs, and the seagull won't go after you. Now we're at a pretty safe part. They both push the jar, and they also crack your jar. If the jar takes enough damage, it will break. All right, normally this fish would knock us into a bathroom, and we would have to go and do an additional puzzle section, but we're going to attempt to skip that, and hopefully we can get it in just a couple tries. So I'm going to go over to the right, and we should be good. Land in the water over here. Beautiful. And that is Piranha 1. Now for the level you've been waiting for, Piranha 2. Again, we are going to be utilizing, strats that involve skipping checkpoints. And unfortunately, there is RNG at the end of this level. We're going to be doing, and the RNG can make us have to restart the level. And if we do, again, the skip checkpoint feature. We're going to be doing what's called a Piranha pull. Think of a rubber band involving a checkpoint and a bite point. So something like this piece of wood, and then if I respawn and I unbite, it rubber bands me. This can be used to skip the entire level, but that's only happened once. Recorded. It's happened twice. Only once recorded and completed. So we can skip a whole... There's so much time to save here, but we do not have a consistent setup for it. So we're going to go for the best Piranha pult we can get. We are very likely going to have to do the puzzle room, because it has never before happened in an actual run. So there you go, Piranha Pult. Now, hopefully this doesn't go too far. Actually, ooh, just barely too far. That was almost really good. Yeah, this might take a few tries, so while I get this going, we would do more donations. I just kind of like, sometimes I like seeing where it goes, even if I know it's not going where it needs to. You know what? We'll take that one. That's pretty good. We could do better. And there, you could do this again, but it's going to rubber band between the next bite point and that checkpoint. And you can crash the game doing this as well. Oops. Didn't make it. But that is one way that we found out that we could skip the puzzle room is by doing a separate Piranha Pult off of, I want to say it was this one. But I am not going to go for that. If I have time and I'm really far ahead on a run, I may be willing to go for it. And it could, if it pulls it off, it could be an IL for the run. Okay, a very solid Piranha Pult can bring you all the way to this area. Which is right before the puzzle room. We're going to clip through instead of biting the pipes, and we have to do a puzzle room now. With more trash. This trash doesn't really get in our way, luckily. It can at one point, but it is not nearly as bad as in Goldfish 2. So we have to clog these grates with these 4 pieces of wood. Then we're going to turn some valves, and there is a right way to do this puzzle. We're not going to do it the right way, of course, because we're speedrunning. But actually, casual runners have done it this way too. We are going to basically fill this puzzle room up all the way with water, but escape before it fills all the way. If it fills all the way, we usually get trapped, and we have to change the valves around, and it's not very fun. So that is one valve, and then the second valve, we have to basically swing it perfectly and swim on out before the water raises too high. So we're going to go through that hole over there. Using the bite jump a little bit there to get a little bit more distance. So we hear that click and we know we're good to go, and I have to escape before this fills up all the way. We have plenty of time this time. Beautiful. I mentioned that there would be car and G, and here is where it is. I'm going to be holding up and to the left slightly. I'm going to be biting, and I'm going to be holding right trigger to launch myself out of this pipe transition, and hopefully not hit any cars and land in a puddle.
Hello, Pootloops. Oh my god, what a name.
Hey, Freehorn, how you doing? Okay, we overshot it a little bit, but we didn't get hit by the car, which is wonderful. Actually, that was pretty decent. The roll was very nice there. We are going to wait for cars to go over us. Because, again, if we fail at this point, it is a restart. We have to go back to that initial checkpoint, which is not fun. So this would be another good section for donations while I get towards the end, maybe 1 or 2. All right, and this is the gas station from I Am Bread, by the way. Shout out to the I Am Bread. If the I Am Bread, because of the I Am Bread gas station explosion, unless these potholes were already there, we as the fish are allowed to complete this level. I'll wait for both of those to go by. Okay. We have one last jump to make, and we're going to try to do a cutscene skip here, if we do it right. we will get to skip the cutscene, as would make sense. Oh, I got hit by a car. So we'll go through the cutscene, and we get to say hi to Greg again.
Greg, isn't it? Greg Fisher? You've been in a car accident. We'll get you to Barnardshire General as soon as possible. Hey!
All right, on to Piranha 3. Another fun vehicle. We have been frozen in a block of ice. And we get a lot more Surgeon Simulator background as well. As we are in Barnardshire General Hospital. So this ice block is real interesting. We want to be on the larger surface area of this ice block because it is easier to maneuver that way. Right now, we are not on that side. Sometimes, if it gets out of hand, we just actually respawn. There are 2 sections where if I don't have it set up the way I want, I will be respawning as I hit the checkpoint, just to make the next section easier. And Zitron, I haven't forgotten about the dog treat, but I can't think of a point where I'll be able to get Goldfish 2 is the best spot for it. These heaters will melt us if we are under them for too long. I think we're going to be good for now, though. If we feel like we'll have to respawn, we will respawn at the next section. Okay. Let's see if this desk anybody remembers. Okay, so right now we did not land the way we want to. That section is one of the few times we can actually control it to some degree, but I kind of have to respawn anyways. If you're ever wondering why playing Surgeon Simulator you only use one arm,
What was that noise? I could have made
Here's
a nasty
Nigel.
incision.
and that's why you play Surgeon Simulator with one arm.
Are you a Bob? Do you need surgery? I'm getting quite good.
A little more Surgeon Simulator lore in here. But we
you here
have
for surgery?
another notorious section where these props can just get in your way and there's nothing you can do about it. Or they can break you. That's never happened before. I don't think it's happened before. Alright, that was a lot better. That's actually not happened before, to me at least. It's fine. At least we have a respawn. So we kind of expect to possibly have to respawn there anyways, just not for that. I'm going to do another respawn to get my ice the way I want it. And we're going to do a fun little Nigel skip here. Where are you? Let's see how Nigel's AI works here.
Come here.
And Nigel's AI is pretty good. It's just not great at the beginning of his sections. But if you like wait for that initial movement, he actually is kind of a pain in the butt. Speaking of pain in the butt,
I know you're around here.
I way overshot that.
Is it surgery you want?
Here we go. And I'm just sliding around for a minute. I will give a squeamish warning. After I hit the vents, if you are a little squeamish, you may want to look away until the end of the level. But until then, do some donations. AKA, I will read my chat and say, hi, chat.
Are you a Bob? Do you need surgery? I'm getting quite good.
Can we get some piranha emotes? No? Rip, rip, rip. There we go. Thank you, Gene Springer. All right, squeamish warning coming up. This will be the blood room, and there is a piranha pole we can do to skip it. Theoretically, it has not been done. So, oh, hold on, got some physics glitches here. Also, getting out of this ice block is not fun. And boss intended for it to be annoying. So yeah, we would basically use the respawn and these blood bags to do a catapult, but we'd have to somehow catapult or piranapult into the doorknob to leave this room, which is very, very, very low odds. So yeah, we are using volunteer donor blood to help the piranha escape this room. Interestingly enough, these blood bags have different value of how much blood they add to the room, but we have plenty of time to open like 6 or 7 of them before, so it doesn't really matter. We know that these ones are good, are enough, and we can open more than we actually need, basically. Yeah, pufferfish is next. And the pufferfish is my favorite fish. I do think that because of the piranha pole, we may end up having to do piranha before flying fish, but I think that pufferfish will always be last. Okay. So we can sometimes get out of here a little early if we get a good jump. Again, we're going to use the bite coming out of the blood to get us a little bit of a lunge, so we get out a little early there, which is great. But yeah, if we somehow are able to bite that handle, even if we haven't filled the room up with blood, this area out here will still be filled up with blood. But unfortunately, this just isn't enough blood. We need more. And luckily, every hospital comes equipped with a giant vat of blood. So, we are very thankful for that true fact. Alrighty. I think we should probably pay Greg a visit before we leave. What do you think?
What the?
Oh, he's doing okay. Greg's blood type is I like that. I'm gonna say that. What is Greg's blood type? That's super funny. Oh gosh. I wish I owned this game. I wish I was the. I want to be. I want to make so many DLCs. All right, on to Puffer 1. Here is the pufferfish. We're immediately going to show a mechanic, which is me puffing inside this bowl to make me accelerate a little bit faster. If we can accelerate faster enough, we can break out of this bowl and do the thing that the pufferfish likes to do the most, which is skip checkpoints by not being in the bowl. And we get it. That's part 1 of it. To roll all the way over here. We get it. Beautiful! That doesn't always go that well. Okay. We're going to continue to use that little puffer strategy. This level is incredibly chill. After I roll down this hill, would be an entire level full of wonderful donations. But yes, the main mechanic of the pufferfish, it rolls. Just like this jar. Depending on how we land, this will look smooth or it won't look smooth. Okay, not that smooth, but not that bad. Could have been worse. All right. Donation time, because it's just pathing. Or hi chat time. Hi chat. Feel free to type out your fake donations. Hello. Jeansburger donates $5 and says hello. A camel emoji donates $5 and says hi with a lot of eyes. I absolutely love the pufferfish. It's just this level in particular, after everything you've been through, this is a breath of fresh water, I guess. I don't know. This is a saltwater pufferfish, by the way. But who cares? Freehorn gifts. I think that's a billion bits. No comment. Nice. We want that bounce kind of because we get to not hit the side of this bridge over here. I love Iron Fish. Goes from like 0 to 100. Like you're chilling most of the time, and then you're chilling, but you can't fall asleep because there's so many ways to lose time. And the sound effects and the music in this game, phenomenal. I just love that noise. Alrighty. That is Pufferfish 1, pretty much complete. Pufferfish 2, we are going to kind of explore... Yeah, we will be exploring another thing that the pufferfish can do. So, in addition to being able to roll, we can do something called big puff jumps, which actually allows us to platform a little bit faster. So what I'm doing is, as I'm coming out of the water, I am unpuffing and then repuffing again. So I'm puffing up, unpuffing, and puffing again. If that makes sense. Or, like, I'm unpuffing as I come out of the water. Does that make sense? Just watch it. Right here, we can do a kind of a cool skip if we get it right, where we will be basically trying to bounce off these spikes instead of going through or around them. We kind of went through them a little bit, but yeah, this saves lots of time doing this instead of swimming up and then puffing, which is what the game expects you to do. This is actually not an intended mechanic. The fact that we can puff high is intended, but we are puffing, we're bouncing much higher than we're actually supposed to be bouncing. It will teach us during this level, further in this level, that we can swim very, very down deep and use it as a jump, but it wasn't really meant for shallow waters like this. And we are going to abuse this, not so much in this level. We are kind of abusing it a little bit in this level, but we will be abusing it absolutely in some future levels. The finale, primarily, to skip an entire part of the game, which is fantastic. Thank you, Camel Emoji. Hey, this is the, I've submitted this a few times, so no promises, but I hope so. This game absolutely deserves deserves a spot. But it has been on the hotspot. I recommend you go and watch the GDQ hotspot run, especially the Bossa Gauntlet run with I Am Fish, I Am Bread, and Surgeon Simulator. That was a ton of fun. Back to back to back. Absolutely a blast. Absolutely. I mean, the game's got so much, and for a speed run, like, I can't emphasize, like, there is different speed text, there are different glitches, there's awesome movement, there's chill moments, there's different strats that you can do if you want, like, different amounts of risk, which is great. So this is usually where you learn, oh, you can use a special ability to jump higher. And in fact, if we choose to, we don't have to see that at all. But we are, again, jumping way higher than the game expects us to, which means we don't have to swim as deep as the game expects us to. Thank you. It also allows us to, like, sometimes skip logs entirely. Like this. Well, I could have skipped it. I could have skipped this log entirely too if I wanted to, but I meant I skipped the first log. This one's a little scary, but I'll go for it. Ooh, that's a little off. And we're good. Could have bounced not so great there. Alrighty. Coming up is the last major run killer spot of this run. And it's only because, and it's not like a full level reset or anything like that. It's just a major time loss if we fail it. It is a jar section with an out of bounds, and we have to go. This out of bounds involves very not great geometry. And there's two methods for it. There's an extended version. This is called bar skip. This skip we're about to do, and there's a extended version of it called far jar. Also, the seagulls are back. Oh yeah, so we have to do this out of bounds with seagulls also as a problem. And we don't have a ton of room to move. It is very cramped. So for some reason, there's just like this area that's just open that I don't know if it was left open intentionally or what, but it's just open. And I'm guessing they'd be like, oh, they'll see the stairs, and I don't know what the thought was with this area being open, but it's open. So we're gonna go through it. And we have no checkpoints for the rest of this level, once again. So these polygons here are very scary. And so are the seagulls. We're gonna not the seagulls are not going to be attacking. Now, it's not over yet, because we still have to get back inbounds, but that was the hardest part. So, while I'm trying to get back inbounds to continue the level, this would be another great time for donations. Fish puns. Stuff like that. Okay. And my optimal, the place where I like to come back in is between this tree and this fence here, but if I mess it up, I can get stuck on the tree, and that's not fun. But we are now good! As long as we do not have to respawn at any point for the rest of the level, we should be good. This is one of the safer checkpoint skips. A lot of the other levels, if you do a checkpoint skip, there's some sort of trick that can absolutely ruin you, and is very likely to fail. Okay. And yeah, this would be another section for donations. The next level is pretty hype. and has a lot going on, so this would probably be one last good section for donations before Puffer 3 and the finale. And there is a finale. At the very end of this level, I do want to mention one little glitch. This was a really fun one. So they left, I guess, when they were testing, when they first made this level, they had like, they needed to like show like make the level end or something like that, and they had this end level point that's like the size of a tiny cube, and they left it in. So like normally this fisherman, you have to play a little mini game and have the fisherman catch you, but they left the cube in, so there's this one spot that we can jump to, and the level just ends. And you can try this if you have the game at home. It's a very easy speedrun strat. Just forget this mini game, it takes forever. Swim right next to this gentleman's shoe. Swim up. And there you go. Alright, Puffer 3. This gentleman catches us lore-wise, and we get to go to the club! Woo! Oh. Oh my goodness. We get to go to the club! Yay! I hope you enjoy all of the dance moves. And this is a fun level because a lot of people who play this for the first time, literally just the first time, will notice, oh, I can just roll the checkpoints as the pufferfish. And that is basically the name of this level. We are going to, if we fall out of the bucket and we can roll to a checkpoint, we're going to do it. And sometimes we'll do it intentionally, depending on the lay of the dance floor. There are, I didn't mention it, but there are a few paths in each level. And this one happens to be the fastest by a long shot for the time being. It has been for quite some time. Normally you have to go across the bar, right, and do some other things, but instead we just grab this checkpoint. Now we have to go through some dancers. If we get knocked over, that might be okay, because we can, again, roll to the checkpoint. We're going to slow down a little bit. Not a terrible cycle. Not perfect. Ideally we don't fall out here because we can kind of just stay in this bucket. If we do respawn while we, like if we leave the bucket and we respawn, there'll be another bucket on the floor and stuff, which is kind of funny. Okay, so again, we can just kind of roll to the checkpoint, no issue. I am going to go around this way because this NPC can sometimes bully us a little bit. So normally we're supposed to go through the middle of the dance floor, but there's a little area. Wasn't properly closed off. Right here. Just going across the front stage. How excited would you be to see that at a rave or whatever this is? Is this a rave? Feels like a rave. Oh no, I got knocked over. Wonderful. Respawn.
Hang on, wait.
We get to enter another vehicle.
We're in the queue for the toilet, mate.
That is what it's listed as in the files.
Chug.
It's our friend Greg!
Hey!
And Greg
What
knows
did you
how to party.
Put in that pint.
There is a fun little strat called Greg Boost. Yes, I'm in Greg right now.
Toilets.
I might give it a shot. It can result in me clipping out, which would mean I'd have to do the section over again. But it can also result in us going very fast. Right now it's not great. So there is a meter as well where he will eventually lose the contents of his stomach. Okay, I might not have a chance to do a Greg Boost here.
Sorry. Looking for toilets.
It's not happening. Fortunately, the bucket's in the way too. Oh, we can give it a shot right.
Where?
How's his stomach doing?
The toilets.
No, I'm not gonna risk it. Stomach's too full. Maybe another time.
Sorry.
What we will go, we can do a Greg boost in the bathroom and go for what's called the poot. Which is a swag strat. I don't know why. Sometimes the meter goes up quite a bit, and that meter is the green that you're seeing right now.
Where are the...
So we haven't bumped
toilets?
into too much, but apparently the game thinks otherwise. So Greg's as a vehicle, it's a different inside than the bucket, but it functions
toilets?
similarly to the bucket. But it does not function the same.
Where are...
Okay, so we're gonna go for the poot here.
toilets? Where are...
No luck.
the...
Unlucky.
toilets?
So we'll just go the normal path. There we go. So the poot we would clip out, and then we would clip into one of the stall toilets, which is actually faster technically, but it happens. It's one of those things where it happens so inconsistently that it barely saves any time that it's kind of a joke to go for. But it's definitely faster. Yes. Yeah, because you clip out of Greg. Sorry, we're doing SGDQ submission right now, Rion. Alright, this section, if you can get through it fast, it feels really satisfying, but it's incredibly difficult to do it super fast. No, you're good. Automod just happened to get you for saying that, but it wasn't even that bad. Alrighty, on to the finale. And the finale is phenomenal. We get to play as all of the fish. So basically the fish get back to the ocean, but they are recaptured. And we have to free the aquarium, free the fish. There are multiple paths here. Unfortunately, we have to take the one that involves the jar. Because the jar is the fastest. So if you thought we were done with the jar, got some bad news for you. But we're almost done with the jar. Last jar. Last jar. Hopefully. How are you doing tonight, Rion? I was just giving you a heads up since I might not be able to respond, but I'm almost done with the run. Okay, we're going to try not to hurt our fishy friend here. Here we go. So we start out as the goldfish again, and we have to basically connect with the other fish, and as we connect with the other fish, we can switch between them as we choose. First fish we get to show up and say hi to is the pufferfish. Yay! We all love the pufferfish. Normally we would roll with the pufferfish across this section, but this was also recently found. It's one of those silly ones where you're like, how was this not found sooner? And that saves a ton of time. Right there. Awesome. Hope it was fun, Rion. I'm gonna wait a little bit for the goldfish to catch up. There the goldfish be. And now it's kind of just like a puzzle game with all the fish, which is really fun. Unfortunately, there is only this level and the space level that lets you play as all 4 fishes once. I would love for there to be a DLC of some sort with either new fish, or maybe the same 4 fish in like different scenarios where you just get to play more levels with all 4 fish. We are going to break this level, and the space level we can also break incredibly using all the powers of the fish. Speaking of all the fish, here is the piranha. And the flying fish will be the last one. And what's real nice is even in the speed run, all of the fish kind of get to shine a little bit. We do try to leave them behind as much as we can and as often as we can, though. Because if one fish can complete a section alone, like, why wouldn't you just have them do that? I'm going to respawn here just to make sure those other fishies made it back safe and sound. We're going to start rolling this bucket over here, and we're going to switch to the piranha fish, because we have to bite this, and that bucket will continue to roll, and we're going to jump in the bucket with the piranha fish. That's not great. Okay, we got very lucky. Not a huge time loss if it failed, but we did it. Here we go. We're going to get out early so we can swim over here early and try to... Oh, almost got it. Try to use that little bite out of the water technique to get a little bit more distance. Now we're going to use the pufferfish to skip this entire puzzle. Using that big puff jump I referenced earlier, we just have to hit the checkpoints. Because the fish will all return to where they're supposed to be. So, there we go. That fish is not supposed to be there. Fortunately, the goldfish doesn't get to be a hero in this section. So that is part 1, or that's part 2. Here's part 3. Aw, failure. Back to part 2. There we go. And we get to say hello to the flying fish, and normally the flying fish would reunite all the fish together. But fortunately, there's a checkpoint up ahead, and we're just gonna go and grab that instead of reuniting all the fish. Because once we hit this checkpoint, there's a much easier way to reunite all the fish, and that is to respawn, and they're all back together. We're gonna switch to piranha. It's the fastest swimmer in a single direction. We actually can bite. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but you can bite and swim faster in one direction with the piranha fish, which is really helpful. It's going to help us open a latch that'll help the flying fish in this next section. And also, we had to bite to that vent anyways, so it just ends up being a very convenient pathing for us. There we go, get to respawn, and that valve is open, which makes it very easy for the flying fish to now be a star. Flying fish is now a starfish. Oops. But I am not. I am a silly goose. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to use the flying fish. This is somewhat intended pathing, maybe not exactly the way we're doing it, but the flying fish does end up here. However, the flying fish is now supposed to go all the way to the bottom, and we're not going to do that because all you need is to keep this fish here, and a checkpoint's going to spawn here, and we are going to use the pufferfish to activate this checkpoint and respawn, and now we're all at the top. Which skips us an entire escalator, and escalators are very slow, if you recall Flying Fish 3. We're going to try to skip another escalator. And try and succeed we shall. This is coming up on the end of my run. Unfortunately, we do have to get all of these fish into this final container. It will not let us progress the game otherwise. We have tried and we have failed. So I'm going to bring the flying fish out first to bring this final vehicle over to this section so all the other fish can make it in. We're going to do the puffer last because the puffer is the worst at jumping. We're going to do the puffer last out of this bucket because the puffer is the absolute worst at getting out of this bucket. Nice. All right, that was convenient. Okay, I thought for a second we didn't have enough distance there. We're going to do the Piranha last because we're going to use the Piranha to help us move this vehicle a little bit faster with the bites. Okay, thank you for watching my submission for I Am Fish SGDQ 2024. I am a big fan of this game. It is my favorite game to speedrun. I think it has still a lot of opportunity as a speedrun to, you know, find more time skips and stuff like that. There are fun categories, some open nest records if people are interested in speedrunning the game. Only thing I have to make sure not to do here is hit any of these benches. We do have one cutscene to play before time, and this would be plenty of time for me to, you know, do final outros and a couple more donations or anything like that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll consider this for SGDQ 2024, and if not, I'll be sure to submit again.
Oh, no!
Oh, and here's Greg again. Thanks, chat, for hanging out. We can do some IL practice after. I was pretty happy with that run. There was definitely plenty of silly mistakes, but hey, we pushed through. And there is reasons why we end the level here. Time! It's because technically we could end the level another way, but we don't know how to yet. And it's also slower anyways. If we could. Oh, and Scotty's here, by the way. We freed Scotty. More I Am Fish content, please. More I Am Fish. Yay, friendship. You know what time it is? No, we're not doing it. You don't get that. Okay. Well, shoot. I stopped the recording, so I'll do it now. 121 is not bad. I'm planning on doing a 130 estimate. I thought about doing a 125 estimate. This was almost a mostly worst case scenario on a lot of those levels. So, what worst case scenario? It was a valid run. A 121. It was a 121. And it was a valid run, so it's not terrible. I didn't have to do any level restarts, which would make it very bad. Can you not believe that there's no DLC for this game? Like, what a novel game. The puzzle levels are fun. Just doing them the right way is fun. I find it so enjoyable. Like, I just think of like all the different fish you could do with like different little quirky mechanics and physics fun, and even just using the same fish, like, my gosh. But yes, Tiny Build has to do it, though. All right, hold on. Here we are, hold on. Let me pause it. Pause it. Dan the Man, you know what you did. If you're out there, never forget, you're a dirty cheater, and you shouldn't be on this list. And we all know it. And now... Oh wait, I should reach out to Tiny Build now. Do you think they'll do it? There's no way. There's no way Tiny Build would do it. It'd be funny. here's the thing though, the way they did the credits, it's not like a simple like, oh, you just go into the credits and like it's not like a slideshow thing. It's actually like a pain in the butt for them to remove somebody's name from the credits. For some reason. But they totally should. I'll say it every time because I know. I am bird. I would do free QA testing for Tiny Build, like a significant amount of legitimate QA testing. I would do like I'd give them 40 hours of free QA testing over time if they would do it. I'd give them 80 hours if they made my name bigger. Just to be clear, that was a top 10 run of the game, so it's solder. Yeah, I wasn't bad. Like I should be under 130 every single time. That Puffer 1 was very good though, from what I thought. A 354 is not terrible. I thought Puffer 2 was great as well. 803 is not bad. I don't think it's amazing. $320, world record for that's like 307, I think. This was obviously not great, and this wasn't great either, which is fine. How are the flying fish levels? That was fine. That was fine given the pathing I did. That was not great. Finale 10 minutes was fine. Okay. I guess we can do some ILs. We're just chilling now. $339. I have a 339. What is the record for that? I don't think I even have that recorded, sadly. I think I have a faster one in an 80% run, which is wild. Puffer 1 is like wildly optimized. Okay, 330 is the world record for Puffer, and I knew that. But what a pain! Jeez, that's crazy. I know I have faster than the 339. I don't know how fast it was though. Puff 2. I can beat my Puff 2 time for sure. Let me see what I have recorded but not submitted. I have Goldfish 239, which is 2 seconds off the current world record. I have a puzzle room skip, and I have a bunch of random recordings. What is today's date? The 12th? We could do our Surgeon Simulator submission, if we think that's a good idea to do today. There is a new potential speed tech involving, it's a glitch, but involving infinite breath in some of these levels. I want to explain this because I think it's interesting before we consider even doing the IM. I can't do, I have not done it, but I'll try to explain it. So basically, you see how there's like this current here? And how it's kind of like pushing? You see how like I kind of have like I have infinite breath right now. And we don't exactly know how this works. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you know what? It's probably just a water box. Yeah. No, there's a way to activate this. Anyways, so there's a value that gets triggered when we leave the water that basically says, okay, now you take like breath damage. If we can make that not get triggered while we leave the water, because it only activates when you leave the water, then we might be able to... Let's see if it worked or not. Oh, okay. But Marty's done this, and he's been able to, like, go around and, like, not, We don't know how it works. But basically, if we could get this to work, certain levels, we could roll through as the pufferfish, or fly through as the flying fish. Because once you get it, it seems to work the rest of the level. So, like, even if I go back into the water... Yeah, I know, those edges are sharp. So, that has the potential to completely break open the game. Look at his face. Ah! 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 Bidet for the first time. I don't know, it's weird. But it seems to, like, it might require, like, a current to get this, but even if there's another way to do it, if we could find a way to glitch this out... And I'm thinking Marty might be confused, because it looks like there might just be water underneath. Because I'm still losing it. But yeah, it is a potential time save. Because when we could do, for example, that jar section, we would have to skip a checkpoint, which we can skip this checkpoint, which is great, because we know that the checkpoint, if this works, we know that the checkpoint flags it. Now, how do you skip this checkpoint? Easily. Like that. I skipped it. So, I could now potentially, like, find a new path. I don't know if it works great on this level, but it definitely does in some situations. Where, like, it might make sense for me to roll up something. I mean, that we all have to look forward to, It feels like I have infinite breath right now. I don't, though. Although, no, it definitely worked, because Marty had the screen go black, but, like, it would just stop. Like, it would go black like you were going to drown, but it would stop. But, like, I'm trying to think of, like, where this would be useful. Like, I don't know. We have like so many paths to explore. Maybe we can clip out of one of these areas somehow. Options, you know? Maybe instead of going that way, I can roll. I mean, not a good example, because clearly this isn't going to work. Or maybe, assuming there's no checkpoints, we get to this jar section, and we're using the jar, right? Maybe we can get the seagulls to break us out, and we can roll around as the pufferfish. I don't know. Maybe we can just flat out break here and just keep rolling, because this section over to the side, like, we could just go, I don't know, maybe we can go straight through the jar area without having to go around. So many possibilities. If it's doable on Flying Fish 1, which I think it might be, in one of these areas, because look, the reason I identified this is it feels like some of these areas, maybe not. You see how the water kind of moves in and out a little bit? I'm thinking we might be able to do it for Flying Fish as well. And if we can activate it on this level, it's not a massive time save, but it certainly would be a time save. Because those jumps at the end, we could just fly directly to the end without care or worry. For example, like, the jump that we do from here to this red tent, we would be able to do it every time. What's wild is that jump's, like, easier from over here. That jump is perplexing. Like, I don't get it. You can do this. It looks impossible, but I swear that jump is possible. We'll just try to do it this way, because I feel like this should be easier. There you go. So something like that, and then we could just fly, like, all the way to the end. Just straight up like it's nothing. We wouldn't even have to go that way. So I think there's room for it on that level. Useless on Piranha 1. Useless on Piranha 2. Maybe not useless on Piranha 2. If we could do it on Piranha 2 before the... No, because we know that the respawning is probably a flag to stop it. So even we have to do a Piranha Pult on Piranha 2. Useless on Piranha 3. So Piranha's pretty much out of the question for this. This is really a pufferfish and a flying fish thing. What's the longest level as it stands? I want to say it's going to be Piranha 3. And the only time save we know we can start doing on that... Okay, so 731 is pretty long. Puffer 2 is pretty long. Okay, so maybe Puffer 2 is the longest. So yeah, if we find a big time save on Puffer 2, that could be massive. We know we have a massive time save here. I think we can do this level in under 3 minutes with a puzzle room skip. Maybe under 2, I don't know. Okay, finale's technically the longest still. I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. kind of want to try to do a chill puffer 2 run. By chill, I mean try hard, but I want it to go well. The hardest part about this run is the jar section, the big puff section, and literally the last little thing at the end. That sucks. Okay, that's fine though. Not that big a deal. What am I doing? Alright, well, we're done with that. I'll do a flying fish for fun. Good practice.
Fish, though? Who buys a fish as a moving in present? How do we
I don't remember what my 330 path is for this. Alright, I can't do it. Let's go for a Surgeon Sim run. Let's do it. Oh boy. Oh, why is display capture on? It's fine. Okay. Oh, do I not have the game installed? I do have it installed. Okay, good. Hold on, I gotta find out what the program is that shows mouse and keyboard. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to find out where I put my... I have to add a camera as well. This would be a weird setup here. Okay. Give me a moment while I figure. It's not gonna be a world record. We're not gonna. It's not gonna be a world record. I assure you that. I'm trying to find my keyboard input thing. I haven't used it in a minute. Here it is. No aboard. I don't have it? What happened to it? Did I just stop using it? No, Aquamat, we haven't broken 1 hour, but there might be a new glitch that could help with that. If that's any consolation. Our sum of best right now is like 108 and some change, so assuming we do everything perfect, or everything the best I've ever done it, it's a 108. We haven't even broken 110 yet. Alright, well, we're going to do it without the inputs since I'm not really required to show inputs, I believe. Welcome to saying that since like 2 hour record. You said less, yeah, you said sub hour first. I was like, well, what about hour? I don't even know if an hour, below an hour 10 is possible. Below an hour 10 is possible. I will say this. I did confirm the puzzle room skip is possible. That takes Piranha 2 from like a 4-minute optimal to like below a 3-minute. So that's a few minutes there, but we haven't even gotten it in an IL level. Or just like we've only done it, we only have one recording of it ever. It's an insane skip. It's if it ever happens in a run, it happening in a run where everything else goes well is like not gonna happen, because if I get it in a run, I'm taking the rest of the run easy, because that is already gonna be an outrageously difficult world record. Even the current world record right now is you have to grind really hard to beat it, because you have so many kill points. And one level can be the end of you. One big mistake can be the end of you. Or a bunch of little mistakes that just eat up. Alright, hello review board for Surgeon Simulator 2013. Oh shoot, let me restart that. Hello review board for SGDQ 2024. I'm Pootloops, and I am running Surgeon Simulator 2013. This game hasn't been run in a while, so I think on Games Done Quick, it wasn't a hotfix recently, but I figure it'd be great to bring it back to the main stage. It's a very quick and fun and easy run. I'm going to be using my left hand to control the fingers of Nigel. Bob is the one we're doing surgery on. And I'm going to be using my right hand to basically move the hand around, so on and so forth. As soon as I click to begin, we start. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, hold on. Dang it, I'm restarting. I didn't have the timer going. I want the timer going. Awkward. Hello! Again! Thank you for reviewing. Oh, let me remove this real quickly. That's supposed to be my mouse and keyboard. Hello, I am Pootloops. This is Surgeon Simulator 2013. It is a quick, fun run. It takes a lot of practice to get intimately familiar with the controls, and when it's done fast, it is absolutely bewildering. So I've spent a lot of time playing this game, and I hope you enjoy it. 3, 2, 1, start. Alrighty, first level we have heart surgery. We're going to try to immediately break the ribcage off and succeed. Grab a knife. 2 small incisions for the heart. We grab a new heart. Old heart can stay, that's not a problem. Boom. Surgery complete. Not too shabby. On to the kidneys. We're going to be doing 3 of each of these, by the way. 3 heart surgeries, 3 kidney surgeries, and 3 brain surgeries. The kidney surgeries are the hardest by a long shot, so bear with me here. We have a lot of incisions to make, and then we also have 2 organs to replace. We actually, unfortunately, have to move these ones because they are more picky. Same thing in real life. Open heart surgery versus kidney surgery. Kidney surgery is harder. Factually. Don't fact check me. If we can get lucky, sometimes we can pull multiple organs out at once. We aren't paid to replace any of these other organs. We're just paid to make sure that they get 2 new kidneys in them. I think it's a very important thing to emphasize here. Oh. That one needs a little bit more work. There we go. Beautiful. A++. Onto brain surgery. We use my favorite surgery tool, which is the hammer. Spoiler alert, we're going to upgrade for the hammer in the next section if we can. And yeah, that's brain surgery. On to the ambulance. Oops. Wrong level. On to the ambulance. So, mentioned it in almost every run of Bossa games. We have RNG in some form or another. In this case, we're in an ambulance that can sometimes bump and move around. If we are unlucky, it'll happen sooner rather than later. That bump wasn't so bad, though, because it actually opened up the heart. And we're done. Alrighty, kidneys in an ambulance. Ooh, boy. This is absolutely not a fun one, let me tell you. So, optimally, the traffic on the road will actually help us commit surgery. And good, very good. We have very good, optimal. Those kidneys could fall out into the road. That would not be optimal. Instead, they moved closer to where I needed to be, which is phenomenal. This one needs to move down a little bit before we wedge this last one in. All right, that should be good. And beautiful. Wonderful kidney surgery. And what's harder than a hammer? Oh, what's harder than a hammer? Nope, not a notepad. I think you know where this is going. Okay, hold on. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Now this is some real surgery here. I know there's some really good surgeons in the world, but can you say that any of them have done surgery with a fire extinguisher? It's because I'm not only one of the world's fastest surgeons, I'm also a volunteer firefighter. Okay. That was the brain. I did not split for it. There we go. On to space. Now we go to space. Space is actually not as bad in some ways as the ambulance. It can get very chaotic very quickly, though, if we aren't careful. So the heart is good there. Beautiful. Alrighty, on to space kidneys. This one is a doozy. When I talked about that chaos, it doesn't really get more chaotic than kidney surgery in space. Oh my goodness, that was a wonderful cut right there on that left kidney. Should actually kind of help float away a little bit if we get this liver out of the way. These pesky vital organs. Okay. And why this is difficult is we need two things to be in place, and the kidneys don't really like to stay in place, sadly. But we have a very great kidney surgery. Wonderful. All right. And final surgery of the night is brain in space. Want to thank you for considering this for SGDQ 2024. And I hope to see many fun runs this year. Oh, I am trying to find a knife. Definitely not stalling for time. Oh, okay. This is a fun little feature. We are experiencing fun juice of sorts. I do not recommend doing surgery this way. Everything else was fine though. All right, and time. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful night. One take, baby. We'll take a 636 first try. That's not bad. I mean, it's certainly no 435. Anyways, y'all, I've been losing my mind lately, but we got 10 days. 10 days until Dragon's Dogma 2. And I am so excited for it. I am going to end my stream early tonight because I want to make sure that those videos are clipped and ready to go for Thursday submissions. And I also want to get some good sleep tonight. So tomorrow I will not be streaming per usual, but I should be back on Thursday for Try Hard Thursday, which might get replaced with me playing Phantom Abyss. I'm not sure what Try Hard Thursday is going to be this week. But since I removed Phantom Abyss today, we might move that over Thursday, and it should be viewer night on Friday again. That is the plan. let me find someone to raid into. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We are gonna raid into That's Tiffany. Hey, have a good night, Alaska. And hopefully That's Tiffany is watching 90 Days or something like that. Something fun. So please say hello to Tiffany for us. Her and her friend Anna are iconic and hilarious. And have a beautiful night.